Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. This time we are going to go ahead and head back to the kitchen because we actually have one more galaxy to complete here now that we have unlocked it. Alright, so rounding off the kitchen dome, we're going to take on another 1-star galaxy which we have unlocked here, which is Buoy Base Galaxy. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. And we have the floating fortress. All right, and as you can see, just like the title has said, there's a giant fortress plopped right in the middle of this galaxy, and we have yet another galaxy that is nothing but water for the most part, other than this little chunk of land in the fortress. This here is a floating fortress. We call it Buoy Base, but no one's using it now, so we're just here for upkeep. Welcome to Buoy Base. Yes. See what you have to say. Guess what would happen if we blew up that underwater weight? Come on, guess. Give up. That tower in the middle of the water would float right up to the surface. All right, so these robot guys are kind of giving you some hints on what you need to do here. So we'll go ahead and jump into the water. And as you can see, the penguins have joined us here as well. They're kind of hanging out around here. We also have some blooper enemies. I think this is the first time we've seen them in the game. But basically what we have here is we have that weight that is entrapped in a case. We also have this pipe over here. I think what many people would do and what your gut instinct would tell you is to blow up this case with this pipe with the bullet bills that are underwater. And that'll open the pipe to go in, except we do not want to do that. You can do that now, but that is actually not the way to get the first power star in this mission. So that can be a little bit misleading, but if you, again, just recall what the robots were talking about, we have an underwater weight here that is also trapped in a case as well. So we want to take that underwater bullet bill, have it blast open the weight, and just like the robot said, the fortress will raise. So now we are able to climb and scale the giant fortress in the middle, because that is actually going to lead us to our first power star of this galaxy. But yeah, kind of going back to what I was saying, that pipe will actually take you to another power star if you go in there instead. However, that is not the intended power star for this specific mission. I am going to be showing off all of the different secret or hidden power stars in the game, because there are several throughout galaxies that we've already explored. So technically we have not completed a lot of galaxies yet. But I want to kind of wait and show those off in a later, or much later, and kind of keep those all together in either, you know, 1 or 2 videos. It might take multiple episodes to cover those, but I want to kind of keep those all together just for the sake of organization purposes. But now we are climbing a giant fortress. As you can see, we have more octoguys throwing stuff at us. We have some thwomps here that we can jump on. And we are looking for 5 blue star chips. So it looks like we're going to have some pole stars to allow us to be able to navigate to the top of the fortress. So this is a galaxy I really like. As much as I love being able to explore and just run around many different dimensions and different gravity shifts and changes, this galaxy keeps it nice and simple, and you're literally just scaling a giant fortress. And I love this. I love this idea. I believe there's a couple other galaxies coming up later, or missions coming up later, where we have something similar to this, except they use different landscapes, but it's mainly involved with just kind of scaling and climbing up around, or, you know, kind of like a circular area in the middle. I love it. I don't know why. It just kind of makes the platforming even more amazing, in my opinion. But now we're going to avoid those bubble blowing machines, because those bubbles will of course throw us off of the fortress. We do not want to do that. But now that we've activated these platforms up here and they're moving, we can now use those to climb up higher. If we can get on top of these thwomps without messing up our timing of our jumps and our spins, that would be great. But enough of me being impatient. I'm going to just see if I can go ahead and not get electrocuted by those, but climb up these platforms to get to the top of the fortress. And as you can see, we only have 2 more blue star chips. We'll go ahead and see if we can find the last 2. There's one here, and then we have 1 more to find. I think it's actually up here on top of this spring. So go ahead and spring up, and voila, there's the final one. And we have a pole star that will actually pull us up to this planet, and we will once again change gravity. And now we have one of these guys spitting out lasers. We'll have to avoid those. Not too challenging. We're now on another round little galaxy up here. What we want to do... Let's see, I believe one of these we can ground pound on. I can't remember for sure. Or there may be something we have to screw. That sounded wrong. Let me take a look here. Go ahead and replenish my health with this coin because I fell into a laser. That's definitely something I highly recommend never doing, is jumping right into a laser. Not only for this game, but I think real life that would be advisable as well. And here it is. I was right. So we had to unscrew this one. That'll open this ball and it'll reveal a big spear of water with our power star in it. Collect these star bits, swim on down, and we'll collect the power star of this galaxy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and actually head back to the bedroom. And we will unlock another galaxy here, now that we have finished off the kitchen. For now. And the next galaxy we're going to take on is Freezeflame Galaxy, one of my all-time favorite galaxies of the game. Let's go. Our first mission is the frozen peak of Brrrn. I love this. A little bit cringy title there, but that's the guy's name, Brrrn, that we're actually going to be fighting as our next boss. And he is the big ice sickle guy up there at the top. So what we have to do is basically make our way all the way up there, fight the guy, get our power star, and then we have a couple other missions to do. But yeah, so this is actually probably my favorite. I have to say it's probably my favorite galaxy of the game, if not one of them. We have a penguin here. Hey, old man, are you practicing how to skate too? Why don't you play a game? Catch me. So yeah, so the skating function in this game is introduced. I don't think there's been any other 3D Mario games before this, like Mario 64. I know they had like a couple of different like sliding races, maybe in a snow level. This is the first time you're able to skate, and you see we caught the penguin with no problem. But I love the skate function in this game. So he's gonna give us a launch star, and that's gonna let us navigate to the next area. But yeah, I just love the fact that Mario's able to skate. The control of the skating is very smooth in my opinion. It's not very difficult to control. When you jump, it can get a little bit kind of funky. You can kind of lose control pretty easily, but if you have a little bit of a rhythm down, it really isn't a problem at all. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. We have a bunch of Goombas here in our way. I will say skating with a bunch of enemies around can be a little bit complicated, but again, if you're once you have a little bit of a rhythm down with it, it gets pretty cool. And as you can see, Mario is a pretty ballerina as he is ice skating. He's already a professional ice skater. He's only been doing it for 2 minutes. Nice. But we get our next ability, which is Ice Mario. Ice Mario is one of my favorite abilities. But the more important function of Ice Mario is he turns any water into ice. So we can actually use ice platforms to navigate on top of water. We are Mario and we are walking on water. But yeah, that is amazing. So that's actually going to be, you have a limited time. As you can see, my ability already ran out. There are a couple of different areas in this game where you want to make sure you're timing your jumps, because we're going to be needing Ice Mario to platform, create ice platforms so we can platform on a couple of different water areas. I'll kind of show that off once we get there. But yes, it's probably one of my favorite abilities, and there's another ability we get as well in this galaxy later on that I love as well. Probably my all-time 2 favorite abilities in the game, other than Boo Mario. But we're going to go ahead and move right along. But yeah, so the Ice Mario function can be very useful, and you'll kind of see what we do with it when we get to the boss as well. We'll be kind of utilizing it there as well. But now we're going to go ahead and transform back into Ice Mario, and this time is where we want him time. Our moves, our jump, and we are on a little bit of a time limit here. So we want to use a Sling Star, get up here. As you can see, we have a bunch of water spouts. Jump on those, they turn to ice, and then we can get up to the top where Brrrn is. So now we have to take on Brrrn. So what we want to do is actually get to the side of this little building that he is actually standing on, or I guess floating on. Grab the ice ability, get Ice Mario. And you want to take him to the middle where you see the little split wall here. Wall jump, because you can only do this with Ice Mario, because otherwise you will not have those ice platforms at your feet. And you want to spin attack him. He's going to do a little bit of a ground quake move like that that'll throw you off if you're not careful. But you have the Ice Mario ability right underneath him, and I didn't mean to jump off. Darn it. Alright, so now I made my way back up the top of the mountain, Ice Mountain. We're going to try this again. We're going to do a rematch. We want to spin into him, and we want to hit him again. We want to do that 3 times. He's going to spit out star bits every time. I don't want to fall. And he knocked me off. Also, something else to point out is that water will hurt you if you're in it for too long. It's frozen water, or ice water, cold water, whatever you want to call it. You will take damage if you're in the water for too long, so be mindful of that. But now we want to get actually back up to the top of this thing to kick this guy's butt. Frozen booty as he's spitting more ice balls at us. You go ahead and wait till he does his attack, spin into him, and then hit him again. Boom. So now he only has 1 hit left. And now he's going to throw out some more ice enemies. And we got to do it one more time. And come on. Boom. He's done. Simple as that. And we get our first power star of the galaxy. Very nice. We're going to jump right back into Freezeflame for our second power star. And we are going to do Freezeflame's Blistering Core. Alright, so as you can see, this galaxy has another side to it, which is a flame side, hence the name Freezeflame. This time we're going to be traveling and exploring the flame area, which again we have another ability we'll unlock here as well. But now we're going to go ahead and collect 5 more star chips because we are going to need that launch star again to get over there. We'll go ahead and practice our skating skills because we are a beautiful little ballerina here as we're skating, doing little figure 8 stuff here. But enough of my cringy and horrible sarcasm and jokes. We're going to go ahead and collect the last star chip and get our launch star. Or I should say pull stars that will lead us to a launch star. And let's see what this does. Awesome. We have some more star bits we want to collect because those again are very important to collect because we are also going to be saving some special missions that those are involved with towards the end of the Let's Play. Alright, go ahead and get into this launch star and we are going to launch on over to the flame area. As you can see, I love this design. It's literally like a big old planet with a bunch of flame in the middle of it, or fire and lava, all kinds of crazy stuff. So it is a lot hotter in this area. And I believe these guys' names are ground urchins, something like that. They're going to kind of be a little bit of an annoying enemy. They're not very, like, dangerous because they're very slow moving, but they can kind of get in your way if you're trying to hit, like, one of those blocks, if you're trying to... you know, just kind of make your way through. There's just a bunch of them. They can be annoying, but not too hard to take down. We're gonna go ahead and grab that extra life mushroom, just in case we take a little bit too many hits from those guys. Jump up here, and we are gonna do some lava platforming in this game. What we want to make sure we do is actually destroy a good amount of these boxes. You'll kind of see why here. But this coin will unlock our next ability, which is again one of my favorites. And I'm sure you know what this is by the look of this thing, because this is actually an ability that's been used many times in the Mario universe. And it is the Fire Mario ability. So we simply get spit flame fireballs, just like in the good old, you know, original Super Mario Bros. Days. But they have made it come back in this game, so I love it. But what we want to do is spit fire into that little goblet, and once that's lit, that'll open up the gate, so that way we can move on to this next area. So yeah, Fire Mario is going to be useful because of his fireballs being able to activate various areas, mainly involving lighting those little torch goblet things, and then that will activate a gate. So very important that you kind of be mindful of the time, because again, you're on a little bit of a time limit when you use that ability. Unlike some of the other abilities like Bee Mario and Boo Mario do not involve a time limit. Ice Mario and Fire Mario do, just because you're mainly only using those abilities for a short amount of time, whereas the other ones you usually use for a good amount of time or for a much longer part of the galaxies. These are just mainly used to unlock certain areas or to access certain areas of this galaxy. I actually don't even know if they're in... Actually, yeah, I think these are reused in a couple other galaxies. I think Fire Mario is... I can't remember if Ice Mario is used in any other galaxies, but this one I think he is. But yeah, for the most part, you're not going to be doing like a lot with them when you're given them. You're just kind of given like a short little mission where you have to basically use them to access other parts of the galaxy. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and move right along. Enough, you know, rambling on about the different abilities and what they do. We have another Fire Mario ability there. So as you can see, we have some more torches we need to light. There is one lit up there on the top left, but we need to light the top right and then the bottom left, because the bottom right is also lit. Lots of words today. And we want to get to this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to make this. I don't want to spit the other one out or blow the other one out. Got my butt lit on fire. That's amazing. I think we're supposed to stand on that platform. Crap. Yeah, we are. So let me go back and get the fire ability because I failed doing that. Which I usually get that done on my first try, I feel like. So it's always when I hit record, nothing ever works out in my favor. But that's okay because I'm used to it. Now we want to stand on this platform. I think we got to jump and spit the fireball at the same time. And that'll light that final one. And that'll activate this wall, which will rise, allowing us to wall jump, as the arrows indicate. Another thing I think is funny is they always put arrows in like, it's always in like the most obvious like places where it's like you would obviously go up or left or right here. Where I feel like they would be more useful in like galaxies where it's like not quite like straightforward and a little bit cryptic as far as where you have to go or what you have to do. But that's just my opinion. It's not a big deal. I'm just kind of nitpicking there. But that's just something I always think is funny. I just feel like the arrows are always put in the most obvious places where they're not needed. But anyways, as you can see, we have our power star out there in the distance. We have some more ember enemies. I can't remember those guys are called, but there are the ice versions of them, and there's also the flame versions of them. I believe they're only found in this galaxy, maybe one other, but I could be wrong on that. But what we want to do is ride these platforms over, grab Fire Mario, and see if we can light that torch from there. I didn't do it. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go back all the way over here, jump on these moving platforms, and then time your fireballs where they light the torches as so. Glad I got that on the first try. That'll unlock the gate to our next power star. Simple as that. But I love a little bit of the exploration of the galaxy. We get to kind of see a lot of different environments in this galaxy. I think that's why it's one of my favorite all-time galaxies of the game, because you're traveling on ice and then fire and then power star time, and that's kind of how it goes. And we have unlocked another new galaxy in the bedroom. Enemy base spotted. We're detecting massive energy spikes. What are they doing there? So yes, we have yet again another enemy base, but now we're going to go ahead and finish off Freezeflame by taking on the Hot and Cold Collide mission. Alright, so as you can see, we started off with the cold area, then we went to the hot area, and now we're going to have a little bit of the mix in this one. So now we have, looks like a variation of lava and ice platforms, and as you can see, the starting area is even now mixed with lava and ice. So again, one of my, I think I also love this galaxy for the reason that they also kind of mix the different environments together as well. We haven't really seen that a lot in this game up until now. So it's kind of nice to see a lot of different like environments in one galaxy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and shoot down here. As you see, we have more torches we need to light. We have some more urchins down here. I want to avoid these guys, and as the arrow depicts, we want to go through that gate, but we can't get there yet without opening this, which will unlock the gate. And we will move right along. Alright, so I can see we are now scaling around this little area here. We have another Fire Mario ability in there. We are going to need that, but we have to do a couple things to get to it, and I did not mean to get my booty burnt. See what's in here. I think it's just star bits. Wonderful. As you can see, we have, and it's pretty easy to kind of recognize where the flame is going to rise up to, because the part of the platform that the flame touches looks a little bit of a darker color than the rest. It may be hard to see. I don't know, maybe it's it may depend on your resolution settings or what you're watching this on. But if you're playing this, it's in my opinion, it's a lot easier to see where the spots are. They're basically just like a little bit of a darker tint. So you don't want to kind of avoid those areas. They're kind of more like a redder or like an oranger tint. But that's where the flame's going to rise up, as you can see there. So you just want to kind of time your jumps and your ground pounds there, and you want to move very quickly once you're in that area. And of course, I got hit by one of the urchins. We're just going to avoid him and just act like it didn't even happen. All right. Get rid of these guys. See, that's why these guys can be kind of annoying, because again, they're not like hard to avoid, but they're just kind of in the way. All right, so we're going to unscrew this, and that'll open the next gate, which will get us our Fire Mario ability, which we're going to need to light those candles at the beginning of the level. Let's go ahead and grab this, and hopefully we can do this on one try. This part can be a little bit challenging. So what you're supposed to do, I don't know why I'm going that way. You want to jump back over here, like I said, to the beginning of this mission, and you want to get all the way over there to those candles way out there in the distance. The problem is the water rises up and down, and you kind of have to just time it. So basically you want to get those lit, and as you see, I did not do it this time. Darn it. You want to light those candles, and then that will activate, I believe, a launch star or a power star, I believe. And that's what you want to do. So now we got to go back, get the Fire Mario ability, and light those torches. All right, so now that I've grabbed the Fire Mario ability again, I am going to try this one more time with the Fire Mario ability. So now that we have timed our long jumps, we can light these candles and get this party started. And there is our launch star. And that will take us over to where we are going to get our power star. And that's where these little ice and flame platforms are. So this part I actually like a lot. And this is going to definitely put your skating abilities to the test and your platforming abilities. So now we are Ice Mario and we are skating over the lava platforms. Except they do not do any damage to us because we have ice platforms that we create under our feet. So we want to get up here. That'll change gravity. Take care of this little Goomba. Get over here. You want to keep grabbing the ability so you don't run out, because if you do not keep Ice Mario, you will be burnt and you will fall off platforms. You don't want to do that. But the skating function is pretty easy to navigate. You just want to keep moving and then spin once you jump onto a next platform to speed up. This part can get kind of tricky, but if you keep a good rhythm, you shouldn't have a problem. You want to kind of maybe take it a little bit easier here. That was close, and we'll take it. And I will see you guys on the next episode.